Hi, my name is Lynn Harden from Make Art Be Happy. And it is it's Tuesday afternoon. Hi, Cindy. And I just got back from my grandson's transitional kindergarten classroom, helping them out. And as I was driving home, I was thinking about, because I was watching these littles be in relationship with their art, just making art. Hi, thank you for the kind words. And it just reminded me of the story of why I have an art practice, how it got started for me back in, oh gosh, 1989 maybe. I was married and had a new baby, Elizabeth, maybe a couple of months old. My oldest son he would have been 4, 2, and then a newborn. And, my husband at that time had been a hospital administrator in Los Angeles, and it had a deep needle stick from a dialysis needle and became HIV positive. And he called me up in the afternoon and said that it was from an insurance policy. I tested positive for HIV. And my world went dark. Um, 'Cause back then it took about 6 months to get, conf test results back. It wasn't like today at a pharmacy where you can just go in and get a kit and know in a couple of hours. It took months to titer antibody for a lot of good reasons. Not so good, a lot of reasons. Um, so my mind had it where, everyone it was very dark. Everyone is going we all die. And, um, we didn't all die. He did end up passing away in 1992. But during that process, during that time in my life, I it was an art practice that saved me. And I didn't really have one at the time. I mean, I'm I dabbled with arts and crafts and things like that. And there was a woman at the time I was going to I don't know if you've heard this program called Al-Anon. It's a 12-step program for people who have a lot of alcoholics in their lives, which is my case. I'm from the South, lots of alcoholics, and the impact it has on you. Beautiful program, teaches about relationships, which I am cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about relationships. There was a woman in there, probably my age now, 70, and she said to me, "While you're going through this, what will help is having something that you enjoy." And she talked about what she did when I think her mom was dying. She took up ice skating. And at that time, I decided I was going to take up art. And there was a local woman in Costa Mesa. I went to her house on Tuesday evenings, and she taught me some basic watercolor skills. It was very similar, which is interesting to what I'm doing right now in the practice. It wasn't just technique. It was mind, body, and soul. It was a lot of mindset and the relationship that we have with art. So when everyone was asleep at night, I would take out big sheets of watercolor paper and I would lay them on the kitchen floor and I would paint. I just would paint. And very, very abstract, didn't do anything that really looked like much of anything. A lot of it was just painting my feelings, and just, connecting to creativity, turning my head off. So that is how my art practice began. And now, Cindy, the combining mindset with art, So much of what we do, and I agree, and that's what I'm all about because I'm a life and creative coach, is that we just think it's about techniques, just taking workshops, taking classes, learning techniques, and and then we wonder why we hit obstacles or why we stop or why we can't um, complete the techniques or why we're not happy with the experience. And it has a lot to do with the mindset, but that's how my art practice began, and it absolutely saved my life and has saved my life many times. That was 35, 36, 37 years ago. And having an art practice has made such a difference for me. And it's come and gone. There are times where I've had a practice in place, and then there are times where I've gone years, absolutely years, which seems for me kind of sad because the art practice is so imperative. Like breathing is such a beautiful part of finding happiness or processing the world. And especially right now, I've lived long enough. The world always seems a little crazy to me, but maybe it's a little crazier right now. And having that practice, just it's somewhere to put your inner life. And I brought it back. I found myself being a creative coach, working with other artists, and wondering why it's kind of started with this. It started with why do we sign up for classes and don't finish or don't even start? And so it got me thinking, and I'm a really curious person. So I started investigating. But what it came back to each and every time was the art practice, which is the beginning. It is practicing. It could be practicing techniques, but it's really more about making art just for the joy of it. Littles and kindergartners get it. They having an art practice, every one of those children has an art practice. Every one of them. And I can't say that about every woman that I know. So I'm on a mission to bring back the art practice for women that want it. Because it's the art practice is somewhere you can put your life. I put my grief there. I put my joy there. I put today I put my thoughts there. I put my feelings there. And instead of carrying them around here or carrying the thoughts, going back to the mindset, carrying the story, the narrative, the thoughts here, they just whoop and go out on the paper. Writing also does the same thing for me. That's why I've enjoyed so much writing on Substack. And it gives me continuity, having an art practice. Jobs change. Oh, here's Cindy said, "I used to play classical music in the piano for my mindset, but I did go years not playing. Now I'm back, but back playing and creating art. I'm so happy you are here doing this." Cindy, yay! Oh, that just warms my heart to hear that. Yay! So good. So good. But playing the piano, making art, it gives us continuity when life keeps changing. Husbands change, jobs change, the world change, bodies change, um, roles change. That's the only thing that is inevitable is change. But your art practice stays. Even when you don't show up, I mean, perfectly, whatever that is, and I discourage trying to show up perfectly. I am of the school of just showing up. And it builds I also think having an art practice builds trust with ourselves. We remember that, yeah, I'm a person that shows up for myself. I'm a person that throws a big piece of watercolor paper on the kitchen floor and just paints. I still have some of those paintings. I never sold them. Some of them were framed. I think I kept all of them, but it was for me. I mean, others saw them, but it was it wasn't to sell, it wasn't to make a living, it was a practice. And a big thing as it should be is regulating our nervous system, that definitely does. I'm a woman who holds her breath. I catch myself, it's like I have to say, "Breathe, Len, breathe." I just catch my breath. That's what my nervous system does. And when I am practicing, I'm breathing, and it also shifts our relationship with time. I don't wait for when you have an art practice in place, we don't wait for the perfect time for creativity to show up. And this is something that I believe. It's just my belief. I'm sorry about the squeaky chair. I'm in my office. But this is something that I believe that creativity is flies around and it's energetic and there are pieces to be brought into the world, books to be brought into the world, paintings to be brought in the world, etchings, sculptures to be brought into the world, and that creativity will land on our shoulder. And if after a while we ignore it long enough, it moves on to someone else's shoulder. Because I don't know if this has ever been your experience, if you've written a book, if you've read a book or seen a piece or a painting. This happened to me with a painting. It had to do with umbrellas. I I thought I had an idea to do that painting, but I didn't pick up the paints. I didn't follow through. And that's what having an art practice does for you. It keeps you in the flow. It keeps you in the creativity, and you don't have to do it for hours and hours and hours. I'm talking 5 or 10 minutes a day will keep the flow, keep that connection open to our creativity. And it also reminds us that we are more than what we produce. We are more than what we do. The art practice is just what it says. It's a practice. It's not meant to be sold. It's not I don't think there's no meaning. I don't attach any meaning to it. An art practice, I believe, is a relationship. That's what it is. It's a relationship that I have with my art, and when we come together, it is a love fest. And I think it takes a black and white world and makes it colorful and three-dimensional. And because not every day is big or meaningful, thank you. And but our practice are constant. They are always here. And it's not a goal. It's a the only way I can describe it is a relationship. So I hadn't found anything like this of though I got an email from an artist that I really respect. He does a lot of he's got big business. And it's so funny how a lot of us are talking about the art practice, but he was saying that 20 minutes a day, how important that is. And I remember when I was in his course, because my head wasn't on straight, the deal was 20 minutes a day, open up your bullet journal, wax paper, and just paint. But my head wasn't on straight. I had the thoughts of this won't be good enough. I was comparing my work to others. I just didn't have a mindset of I just wasn't in the mi in I wasn't in my right mind. And so that's why I work very hard with other women and working through some of that gobbledygook that we have up there that keeps us from one of the most beautiful and meaningful things that we can do as human beings, which is to have an art practice. I am I do have I created an experience, it's experiential, called The Practice, and it starts this Saturday. Um, and I'm keeping it intimate or kind of small on purpose so that we can get to know each other and support each other, and that I can coach when someone wants coaching. But every 10 days, I'm gonna offer up a focus, a concept, a different way to look at, our minds and our art and what's going on. and it's not a technique class. It's a I don't know how to describe it. It's an experience. It's a journey for anyone who wants to get back in that flow and have a way to, when they wander off, how to get back. So every 10 days, I offer up a focus or a concept, kind of, a teaching thing. And then certainly examples of different art practices that you could do that would be tied to that concept. And then journaling and then writing. I provide writing prompts. It's very important that in order to get to the gobbledygook, we have to write about it and see what it is. And then there's a private discussion group where you can post what's going on. You can post your work. If you want coaching, if you're feeling stuck, I am there to help you get unstuck. So I'm opening that up. It's open. It's open now. It's open now. But it starts this Saturday and I'm super excited about it because I know what it means to have an art practice. And I'm so excited to share this with these women and watch them grow and have the most beautiful expression of who we are and tool to get through all thoughts, all the feelings, processing everything that's going on in the world in a safe and a safe place. So I'm excited to do that. If you follow me, it's all, well, you can direct message me if you want more information about it. And I feel privileged. It's not like anything else I've done before. My favorite artist in the whole big wide world is Jean Oliver, and I was talking to her about this course, and I got kind of excited because I think it's creativity landing on my shoulder. She said, "None of your peers are doing anything like this." So much of our courses are just technique. This is something very different. This is meant to be something to experience in your body. And when you get stuck, we're there to help you. I don't know how long I've rambled. I think I'm going to do a live every day around 2 o'clock this time this week and talk about the art practice. And I would love to hear anyone who's on what an art practice means to you, and also, where do you get stuck? If anyone wants to share, I'll give a pause. And that's okay. You can direct message me, you can put it in the chat, and if you're stuck, I'll help you. I'll be happy to help you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and let's make art and be happy no matter what is going on around us. Thank you.